Good morning. This is a recording from Monday, October 16th. Desmond Tutu says, "It would be wonderful if we lived in a world where there was no harm, no hurt, no violence, no cruelty." I have certainly not lived my life in such a world, but I do believe it to be possible, and I also know that it is only possible if this peace begins within each of us. Peace is built with every small and large act of forgiveness. Peace is built with every small and large act of forgiveness. We cannot walk the path of forgiveness in shame or silence. After all, the first step of the path is telling our stories. The process is not quiet, and it is not always pretty. It calls for a vulnerability that can be very uncomfortable. But forgiving is always worthwhile in the end. In the next few sessions, we will explore in detail all the steps of the fourfold path of forgiveness. And rest assured, nothing will be asked of you that you are not able to give. But first, let's summarize what we have learned so far in this section of the book, in our past few sessions. First, nothing is unforgivable. There is no one who is beyond redemption, and to deem someone a monster is to take away that person's accountability for their actions. We always have a choice to walk into the revenge cycle or to walk into the forgiveness cycle. In the revenge cycle, we reject our pain and suffering and believe that by hurting the person who hurt us, our pain will go away. It doesn't. In the forgiveness cycle, we face our pain and suffering and move toward acceptance and healing by walking this fourfold path of forgiveness. The steps of the path are telling the story, naming the hurt, granting forgiveness, and then renewing or releasing the relationship. Today, we will do a practice of imagining walking this path of forgiveness. But before we go there, let me read a poem offered in the book. As I read this, listen to what your heart hears. You have stood at this junction before. You will stand at this junction again. And if you pause, you can ask yourself, which way to turn? You can turn away from your sadness and run the race named revenge. You will run that tired track again and again. Or you can admit your own pain and walk the path that ends. In this direction lies freedom, my friend. I can show you where hope and wholeness make their homes, but you can't push past your anguish on your way there. To find the path of peace, you will have to meet your pain and speak its name. To find the path of peace, you will have to meet your pain and speak its name. So now let's do a practice that's called Labyrinth of Forgiveness. As always, take a comfortable position and take a few moments to settle. Settle into your body, your heart, your mind. Settle into this moment, right here, right now. Your breath natural, soft. As always, see if you can get a sense of spaciousness on your breathing, so that all the experiences of the present moment can just flow through you as energy that they are, without struggle. Now imagine standing at the entrance to a labyrinth and set your intention to remain open to the forgiveness journey before you enter. This exercise is not about forgiving anything or anybody in particular. It's more about your intention to step on the fourfold path of forgiveness. So enter the labyrinth now and just notice how you feel, physically, emotionally, mentally. I am going to walk you through the 4 sections of this labyrinth, the 4 steps of the path of forgiveness. All you have to do is notice the places where you seem to lose your way, where you pause, where you feel resistance. Nothing more, nothing less. So now let's start our walk through the labyrinth together. At the entrance, turn to the left. The first section on the path is telling the story. Let's spend a little time here just feeling. Once again, remember, it's not necessarily about any one particular hurt or person, but if something specific comes to mind, just notice it, welcome it, examine how it makes you feel, what thoughts are being provoked, what physical sensations are present. And as you do this, you're slowly walking toward the second section of the labyrinth. The second section is naming the hurt. Again, spend some time here, walking around the section, feeling for the descriptive words to name your hurt, without necessarily focusing on any particular situation or person. And yet, if something very specific comes to you, welcome it, examine it gently, as if from a distance. And now you are in the third section, granting forgiveness. Again, remember, at this stage, it's not about anything specific. Just feel how ready you are to forgive in general. What physical sensations are present? What thoughts and emotions are being evoked? And finally, we are in the fourth and last section of the labyrinth, the choice to renew or release the relationship. Again, notice your first response and examine it under the light of forgiveness. No decisions need to be made right now. It's not even about any specific situation. We're just familiarizing ourselves with the path itself and how we feel in this labyrinth of forgiveness. Nothing more, nothing less. And now imagine yourself at the center of this labyrinth. Pause and ask for a blessing. In your own words, ask for the grace you want to receive. And now we're going to follow the path back out, walking through all the sections backwards, renewing or releasing the relationship, granting forgiveness, naming the hurt, telling the story. And before you exit this labyrinth of forgiveness, pause for a moment and offer thanks for this time of reflection. As always, now place your hands on your heart and with gratitude, offer yourself the energy of loving kindness. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well in body and mind. May I feel safe, protected, at ease. May I know deep, natural peace. As you gently let go of your practice, scan your body, notice what's going on for you right now, physically, emotionally, mentally. How are you really? As you go through your day today, I invite you to simply sit with your intention to forgive. Not anybody in particular, but in general. Is it a strong intention? Is it weak? Are you scared you are not going to be able to go through with it? Whatever comes up, reflect on that and maybe jot it down in your forgiveness journal. Also, in the book of forgiving, the meditation we did today is accompanied by an image of a labyrinth. I'll post this image so that you can repeat this exercise as many times as you want. And maybe at that point, you can think about a particular situation or a particular person you need to forgive. If you choose to use this image, walk the labyrinth by tracing the path with a finger of the non-dominant hand. Anyway, I'll post the image and the instructions. Thank you so much for being here today. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.